What's up guys, duarktikhq with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are back to talk about the next legendary coming to Marvel Strike Force, the Sentry. The Sentry has been rumored to be a legendary for several years, but these rumors were coming from a source that was aware of all the legendaries that were coming to the game, with the Apocalypse saga, with the characters that came after, the scenes of Mephisto. So it's very likely that this source is a good source, because I mean they were aware of this years before anything showed up. And back in the day they said that Sentry was going to be a legendary. They just didn't know when he was going to be released. Now Marvel Strike Force recently has been increasing their tie-ins with the MCU and also with the Marvel Television, which is their section of the Disney Plus. And with that, we have seen more tie-ins, like I mentioned, whether it is with skins or characters reworks like Agatha, and so on. We also due to get a Moon Knight Season 2 release, so that might also be part why Moon Knight now got a rework. But yeah, so this Sentry has been a rumor for a very long time. It was always designed to be a legendary character, and I think this is a character that is going to be a good legendary character, at least to the same level as Old Man Logan. Supposedly he has the Super Zero formula times 1000 or something like that, which makes him incredibly powerful. He was able to destroy all kinds of people in the Marvel comics, including Carnage. He just obliterated Carnage, like ripping him apart. So this guy is a huge deal. And we had a tease for him on the MCU movies in a few weeks ago. So it's very, very likely that Marvel Strike Force is going to use this opportunity to create a hype around this character. Sometimes the MCU makes the movie first and then they come to Marvel Strike Force. Other times Marvel Strike Force reworks characters that they know already are going to be tied for some big event in the near future. So for sure that's going to be the Sentry. Now, the Sentry could bring different reworks of characters. He has been part on different teams. So this is the Robert Reynolds version of the Sentry, and I think that's going to be the most likely version of him to come to Marvel Strike Force. But there is an Asian version, there is a female version. I'm not sure, I'm not aware of those versions, but I know they exist. Now, the Sentry is something that is a character that is very interesting, because he has the good side and he has the bad side, right? There is the Void, which is part of the Sentry as well. I'm not sure if they result as personalities. It's like two sides of the same coin, or if they are actually split apart. You guys can let me know that in the comments below. But yeah, he has a good side and he has a bad side. Now, in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, we had the light side and we have the villain side for a very long time. But 1 year ago, maybe 2 years ago, they introduced this in between, and it was sort of a new faction that they added to the game with brand new mechanics. So we could see the same being introduced to Marvel Strike Force with the Sentry, as he has this villain side and he has this other side. One is tries to do the good, the other one is just ruthless and brutal and everything. So it could be something interesting to see for sure. So you can see here that he was teased in one of the most recent teasers for movies. You can clearly see that is the symbol of the Sentry. And then we have the teams that he was part of. So one of them was Dark Avengers, and you can see familiar faces here like US Agent and Captain Marvel. We also have other members. You can see right here Luke Cage. Luke Cage is mentioned in multiple times. We have Norman Osborn, we have Scar. Scar could definitely be a character that would come to the game, some new character with Gamma Tag, maybe something else in between. I think he's the son of Hulk. Not 100% sure on that. You guys can correct me in the comments below. And then we have the Mighty Avengers. Once again, we see Captain Marvel. They call it Miss Marvel here, but it's, as we know, Captain Marvel. And we also have Black Widow, we have Ares, we have Iron Man, Spider-Woman. This is not the Spider-Woman we have in Marvel Strike Force. This is the black and white suit, I think. And then we also have the Wasp, that was always a trash character. So we could see reworks like a Wasp and US Agent, because they are characters that are very outdated or they were never good, and they could be brought back to the meta. While these other characters that are mentioned they got reworked recently. Like for example, Iron Man got a rework with Illuminati, so it might not be as relevant. Then we have the New Avengers. We already have New Avengers in Marvel Strike Force. The members they have, once again, we have Luke Cage, Captain Marvel, Captain America, Iron Man, Ronin. All of these characters got reworked recently, so the most likely would be Captain Marvel, Luke Cage. But once again, I would say US Agent and Wasp, maybe someone else. Okay, so with this in mind, with the Sentry and which characters could be part of his team, we have to talk about his event, right? We just added the Old Man Logan trials, and people are still complaining. Even that this was the third time the event comes around, people are still complaining about the difficulty or the characters required or stuff like that. And all of the characters right now, at this moment, are 100% free to play available. So it all comes down to your choice in order to farm those characters and get them big enough in order for you to get your 7 yellow stars Old Man Logan and all the extra rewards you can get with that. So with this in mind, we're going to take a look at which characters might be required to unlock the Sentry. And I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be the Illuminati or the Annihilators, right? Because that was the biggest limiting factor with Old Man Logan. Cabal and Out of Time, they didn't decide the difficulty of the event, they decided how many yellow stars we were going to get on those characters, right? To get on Old Man Logan. That section is just there to reduce the amount of shards you can get. The real difficulty is on the other nodes that are not Illuminati or Annihilators. So when you take a look at this list that I made, we have the comparison between the Old Man Logan trials with the possible Sentry trials, right? So we have unrestricted, then we have the required team, the team that is going to limit how many yellow stars you're going to get on your characters. They said we don't need Captain Britain, so for sure you can count that Illuminati will count for nothing in order to limit your progress. But then we have the other sections that were extremely difficult. For Old Man Logan, we had Cosmic Bio, which require you to use a very big Nowhere or a Super Scroll. There are a lot of people still that right now don't have Super Scroll, so this is definitely going to be a limiting factor. Then we had the Hero Skill, and for Hero Skill, the only team that worked was multiple sacks and then use your Spider Society, or having a big Black Knight and then still using your Spider Society. So this is going to be, these two nodes already a major problem for this. Then node number 5, we had the Villain, but let's be honest, these Villain nodes were so difficult that if you did not use Cabal, you would not be able to beat it. And this is what I'm saying, the teams required, they are just the teams that will limit how many yellow stars you'll get on the Old Man Logan. The difficult part comes from all the other nodes that are not for a specific team. In the Old Man Logan trials, Cabal nodes, they were easy. The Villain nodes were really difficult if you were trying to do them with Sinister Six. And then at the last section, you had the Cabal nodes, Villains, and then you had the Cabal nodes right after where you need a full team. So this was absolutely extremely difficult, and for sure that Scopely is going to do the same for Sentry. So here we can take a look at a list of the possible nodes. So we have Unrestricted, then we have Illuminati, which they said that we don't require Captain Britain. Once again, that's why it's not going to be a limiting factor for your yellow stars. But then we have the City Mystic. So City Mystic, let's take a look at which characters we have available right now in terms of City Mystic. And I don't think it will be a surprise that we're going to require the team that is being released right now. The Night Stalkers, right? Night Stalkers, City Mystic, we have a few characters that are very powerful, but most of the the effort is going to be done by these two characters. So we have Blade, very powerful. He has awakened abilities, so you can imagine that you probably are going to require these awakened abilities to unlock the Sentry. Then we have Oath, Karen Page. She has a very powerful kit as well. Extra speed, turning lines, different mechanics that they can force us to use. And then we have, so we have City, we also have to put Mystic. And then we have Moon Knight, that's going to be the character you're going to get for free. Then we have Robbie Reyes, we have the new Avengers, Mr. Negative, Spider-Man Noir, Ghost Rider, Morbius. So, I mean, it's not like you have just garbage characters, you have some good characters. The problem is that these good characters, it's only on their specific game mode. So, without a Raid or a Cosmic Crucible buffs, Cloak and Dagger, they are kind of garbage. And maybe that's where the Night Stalkers come into play with the raid buffs, right? They have raid buffs as well, so it would make sense to have all these 5 or 6 characters together. Okay, so that's the first section that I think it will be like extremely difficult without having the new characters unlocked and their new stats, right? Because these characters also have new stats. Then we have Tech Global. Tech Global. How does that sound? Tech Global. Did we have any team that is Tech Global? Yes. So we have the Orkish team, you can see it right here. And this team is one of those teams that really relies on how many yellow stars you have. The Omega Sentinel, the girl, and the Nimrod, they are super dependent on yellow stars. And you can expect for sure that the enemies will destroy you right away. And then you have to rely on the 25% chance of Scientist Supreme to revive one of them, and then hopefully you can get it through, right? But it's bringing that RNG element that we have seen on the Morgan Fate trials, that we have seen in multiple trials, even the Old Man Logan trials, if you are just using Spider Society and not Black Knight. This could bring that level of RNG that really makes it difficult. Now, once again, the section, like I said, would be Tech Global. And of course, we have options. Of course, we have options. We have options like, for example, let's select Tech and then Global. We have options like Pegasus. The problem with Pegasus is that they don't have Kestrel, right? And without Kestrel, this is going to be quite problematic. You still have Hank Pym, you still have Iron Patriot, you still have Guardian, Doctor Doom, Iron Man Infinity War. So it's not like you have only just bad characters. No, you have some good characters over here, but you don't have a full team that can go there and just destroy the nodes. The only team that you really have is Orkies or Bionic Avengers, but guess what? I'm not going to tell you to build your Bionic Avenger, right? So yeah, for sure, one of the sections is going to be Global Tech, and of course you're going to have major advantage if you are using the Orkies team. Going back to my guessing list, we have Hero Global. Hero Global, it's not what we have, it's what the enemies have. So once again, we're going to go to Global, and then we'll take a look at Hero Global. And we have some strong Hero Global characters, for sure. The problem with those characters, so you can see right here, we have the Illuminati, we have Extreme X-Men, so there you go, problem solved, right? We have Extreme X-Men, we have Old Man Logan, we have Rogue, 2 legendary characters. For sure we're going to be able to destroy all of these. No, it's not the case, and it's not the case because of the enemies that we now face. If we are facing some kind of Annihilators, if we are facing some kind of Orkies team that has multiple stuns, ability blocks, flipping buffs, absolutely doing insane amount of damage. Even with this amazing team of the Extreme X-Men, it might be just not enough to beat these trials, right? And that's why the Illuminati comes into play once again, not only on their specific nodes, but also on these other nodes, where you need to have this additional team to go through with this. So I strongly believe that this is going to be another of the sections, Hero Global, based on what happened previously and based on the characters that we have available. So once again, it's not really the Annihilators or the Illuminati that is going to make things difficult for you. These teams are made just to limit how many yellow stars and red stars you're gonna get on your character. And if you take a look at my Illuminati, they are pretty much maxed out. They have been around for a very long time. So for sure you can get these characters at 7 yellow stars. And that's why, once again, I say that they're going to be necessary for multiple nodes. And then we have the Annihilators, which are going to limit how many yellow stars you can get on the event, right? Because if you only have these characters at 5 yellow stars, you cannot even pass node number 6. So that means you can get your Old Man Logan at 5 stars, and that's pretty much it. In terms of my Annihilators, I bought an offer for each of them. I didn't got super lucky, and I used a lot of power cores for Thanos. That's how I got him at 5 stars. It was by spending power cores. So I can imagine that most people will have these characters at 3 yellow stars, 4 yellow stars maybe if you got lucky. And this is going to be a major factor for this event, right? They'll be farmable within 3 months after the Sentry event, but until then it will not be the case, and it will be the major factor that will decide how big your Sentry is going to be. So yeah guys, that's my speculation on what is going to be necessary for the Sentry Legendary unlock. I think this is going to be controversial as always, but we just have to understand that Scopely is a business. They have to make money, and this is how they manipulate us, or to buy more offers, or to limit the progress of the spenders versus the free-to-play players. You might not get your Sentry at 7 yellow stars now, but maybe on the second run, or maybe on the third run, when all the characters will be farmable, it will be the case. So that's going to be the video, guys. This video is just to give you an idea of what to expect and which characters you might want to consider spending power cores on, or at least have in mind. So whenever there are the events for these characters, you can push these events a little bit harder, right? I expect the Sentry Legendary event to show up in early November, maybe the second week of November. And that's going to be it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, and if you found the video helpful, make sure to share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Mouse Strike Force content, and I'll catch you guys later.